It's going to be a beautiful day. Oh, it is. All right, let me just set us up and then we will start.
Also, River's birthday today.
Oh, I knew that's why I got along with River.
I just got an email from the vet.
And how is River doing?
He's doing good. He's 4.
Oh, well, River's like an adult.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to believe that animals are like in their adulthood. They're like 3 or 4. It's like, dude, it's all, you're going to have to start doing things correctly now. Brenna, is this where I say today is my birthday? Don't bring any bad news.
You should say it out loud.
I just ruined it, right? Is there any Kleenex anywhere? Kleenex.
Let me go.
All right, I think there's some in that chair on the back row. My allergies are just an issue today. And you know they're going to turn back, you know, what, move forward time or something? Fall back.
Yeah.
I think they should just leave time alone, the changing of the time, because then it's too dark when children are out walking to their school. All right, everyone, I'm going to call the docket. Today is Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. We're closer to Friday than we were 2 days ago. So that's something to be excited about. So I think we're going to have I know we're going to have a good day today. Everyone, please be patient with everyone and things will run smoothly. All right. So in custody, we have DOCKET, Ayala. On bond, we have Mark Alvarez. Thank you.
Judge, we're ready for the plea on that one.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We have Juan Garcia, Montoya Callahan in custody. Maria Chavez. I think we may have taken care of that. I'm not sure. We'll check. Jonathan Bolden, David Quiones, Reno Corrales, Luis Contreras, Christopher Garza, Carlos Villegas, Benito Garcia are in custody. Corey Sepulveda. Thank you. Mario Tovar Hernandez. All right, so everyone knows the rules of the court, the attorneys who are here. I think you've heard my rules before, so those rules are still in place every day in this court. And Mr. Frolick, who's your client?
Judge, I have 2 on the docket today. One's Casper Ayala. I believe he's in custody on his way up. The other one's Mr. Alvarez, who was here yesterday. Appreciate that. I want to say that I texted Norma that yesterday, just being like, so much for his work. We're back here again before 9 this morning, ready to go.
All right, awesome. Deputy Lord, could you pass me the file on Alvarez? And we will do the plea. Where's Mr. Alvarez? Come forward.
Yeah, and the other 2 should be. Yes, yeah, those are already filled out. And those are TICs.
Yes. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think they've already been signed, but I think maybe the, here you are.
See if I can share that.
You're welcome. All right, Brenna, you ready?
Ready.
Court is calling 2022 CR 7605, State of Texas versus Mark Anthony Alvarez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Start.
Defense?
Andrew Brad.
And are you Mr. Alvarez? Right. Defense, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance. Mr. Alvarez, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And we can go off the record briefly, just so everyone knows, I do take court very seriously. And I always tell people, dress appropriately for court. The reason why I don't have on my robe today is it's extremely hot in the courtroom. We're still trying to get them to fix the temperatures. And yes, I don't think that's ever going to happen. So, Mr. Alvarez, I want you to know that when I tell people to do things, it's not something that I myself wouldn't do. So I appreciate you dressing appropriately for court. All right. We're back on the record. I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, it appears that you're only proceeding on count 2 and waiving count 1. Is that correct?
Yes.
Any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Alvarez, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I see on the paperwork that listed as attorney was James Toshi, but that has been crossed out.
That's me.
All right, so
Well, I'm not switching it. Yes, that is correct. Mr. Alvarez case for a number of months.
all right. So, counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Alvarez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you in this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on count 2. There's $1,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2022 CR 7603, 2022 CR 7604, and there's $228 for laboratory testing and restitution. Did you understand that to be the agreement? Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motion?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 150 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Judge. State Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objection.
Mr. Alvarez, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just not going too far into any other things that are going on. You know, there's a shift of Mr. Alvarez between this spring and the next. Ever since then, he has been more, let me put it this way. I've noticed he's been more time. He's been on it. He's been doing everything much better than me. With that in mind, I know there's a number of questions the court has to ask him about parent and things like that. But I do want to ask that you follow the plea bargaining agreement beyond, and I'd be happy to address any issues you have.
Okay. All right, Mr. Alvarez, who is Amy Vasquez to you?
Amy Vasquez.
Yes. That's who's listed in this report.
Amy Vasquez. I don't know Amy Vasquez.
It's AIMEE, Nicole Vasquez. So you don't know her?
No.
And who is Tina Bocanegra?
My sister.
Okay. Do you have any children?
I got 4 daughters.
What are their ages?
9, 8, and 6 and 4.
What's their birth date?
December 10th, January 18th, October 1st, and January 16th.
You sure about the last one? That is January 16th?
January, February. I think it is January, right?
Are you sure? Because either when
No,
it's,
February.
all right, because it's her birthday, either you're gonna be very late or you're gonna be very early.
It's February.
All right, you need to make sure you remember that. All their
Okay, so
birthdays.
My daughter January, February, I always get them mixed up.
Okay. I'm sure they don't like that because somebody's present is either early or late. So are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do?
Construction, painting houses.
And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Probably like marijuana.
All right. Have you been using anything else? All right. So when's the last time you used marijuana?
Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Here's the thing, when you're on probation, and I know people say, it's just marijuana. I am coming to the conclusion that marijuana leads to other things. Because usually when people say, oh, I'm just having a beer, and if they have an alcohol problem, then that beer translate into harder liquors. And then marijuana usually translate into harder drugs. And before you look up, you're using marijuana for everything. Oh, I had a hard day. Oh, I just need to chill and relax. And then the next thing you know, you're doing marijuana. And then you look up, your life has passed you by. Because your children who are 9, 8, 6, and 4, do you want them using marijuana? Do you want them around people who use marijuana? You're the person they're around who uses marijuana. And regardless, the way children are now in school, a majority of them, I think, know what marijuana smells like. And I know you don't want them being teased by other children about your dad uses marijuana, right? So you're going to have to be a better role model to them. Children mimic what they see. And if you're smoking marijuana, then if they love you, which I'm hoping that they do, they think that's okay. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're going to have to be a better father to them.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it's 4 girls. And you know what that means? When they get older, you know who's going to come knocking on your door?
About it.
No.
Boyfriends?
Yeah, thank you. Andrew knows. And you know, if they end up having a boyfriend who smokes marijuana and you're like, hey, he just smokes marijuana, he's a pothead, you know, they're going to say, well, Dad, you smoke marijuana. You don't want them to do that, right? Okay, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to follow your agreement, sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. And whether you're on for 3 years or not, it's completely up to you. If you complete everything successfully, then your attorney can come back and ask that you're terminated early. If you're not completing everything successfully, don't bother sending your attorney in, okay? And I'm going to have you tested for levels. So those levels for the marijuana had better start going down. There's $1,000 fine that will be probated. Take in consideration 2022 CR 7603, 2022 CR 7604. There's $228 for testing. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. You're going to have UA testing for levels. And then once he's negative, it can just be regular UAs unless there are issues. 150 hours community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination with booster. Court is not requiring you to do that, but if you've already had it or if you've done it, 40 of those hours will be deducted. I'm going to want parenting classes with Triple T. Once you complete the parenting classes, the remaining of the hours will be waived. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider with minors. We'll do field visits for 3 months, 1 time per month. And probation, if there are no issues with the field visits at that point, then the probation can discontinue them or have them as they see fit. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Alvarez, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Is there anything else you need from me in order to be successful on this probation?
No, Your Honor. But no one thing really helped me out because I started had to stop smoking and I was on probation still and I was still coming out dirty. They had into argument, even though I had to stop smoking and my level just kept up.
Oh, well, we're gonna see about that.
All right.
And I think your attorney will tell you that I always, sometimes if it's appropriate, I usually have compliance hearings. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. Everything you do from here on out, the choices you're making, you need to ask yourself, is this something that I'm doing could potentially result in me going to prison for 10 years? That's your first question. And you know what your second question should be? Is this something my daughters would be proud of me for doing? And if any of those questions are no, then you need not do it. Okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Oh my gosh, everybody has their purple flowers. This is so awesome. Oh, in honor of me. I appreciate that, guys. All right, who's here on Luis Contreras?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Prison firm, I just want to notify the court, Mr. Contreras is in custody. However, I need to check in with Greg Angelini and Impact.
Yes,
So I just want to be excused to go down there and then come back up and.
Sure. all right. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Call us if Judge Angelini doesn't release you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Patrick Valentine,
Morning, Judge.
good morning. Are you ready for whatever you're gracing us with your presence for?
I need to speak to Mr. Yakas, who's in custody.
Okay.
Got a number of cases to handle.
All right, thank you.
Judge, may I approach? I also Casper Ayala.
Sure. Deputy- Okay, could you pull the file on Casper? Is it indicted?
It is.
No.
No.
Oh, it's not?
It's not.
Oh, so they don't.
Why would I say that?
Yeah, I have this Casper Luis. Yeah, okay. All right, so what is happening with this case? Okay. All right, Casper Ayala, come forward. And probation, there's no application on this case. I was telling probation, there's no application.
There should be an application.
Okay, why does it say no app? All righty. Yeah, you submitted it. No, I have it. Yes, I'll just correct it.
Judge, is it my paperwork or?
No, it's
Oh,
not.
Okay.
I just go by what I see on the docket sheet. We're not going to place any blame.
Sorry.
Sprinting over there.
Yeah.
Was busy yesterday.
Yeah. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 10600 W State of Texas versus Casper Luis Angel Ayala. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state defense? And are you Mr. Ayala? All right, I'm going to show you counsel discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ayala, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Oh, counsel, I'm sorry, you all need to sign that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I did this.
Brittany, did you do the paperwork on this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. So I'm just letting you know that you all are going forward on the information as presented.
Yes.
Okay.
You have me nervous now that something's wrong with it.
No. But I tell you, Lupe did leave a note saying attorney forgot to sign.
Here, that's my phone.
All right, Mr. Ayala, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Penal Code, of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand that you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict? Did you understand your attorney has certain rights, namely 2 days, 2 full days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? Did you understand? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you are giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. All right, next I'm going to show you what's entitled information. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
Yes.
Mr. Ayala, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that what you're charged with, is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ayala, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a US citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state?
Yes.
I'm sorry, off the record for one moment. Can you read us? All right, next, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions? Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargaining agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense as charged in the information, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
Yes, Judge. States Exhibit 1 and all attached.
Mr. Ayala, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Okay, could you guys whisper? All right. All right, again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
He's asked to follow the bargain. Custody for 30 days. This Judge, we think 30 days. To open him up. Successful probation.
All right, so what is this issue? Because I'm reading in the police report that he had a warrant for his arrest.
That was an MTR out of County Court 1. That was, I was looking at this
Okay.
WI MTR. So sentenced on that one and then was not able to bond out. Somebody who lost his job, is that right? Lost his job from being sentenced. Again, have represented him on both the MTR in this case. 30 days of sober him up. I think he understands now what. I'll be completely honest with you. He understands what happens in a messed up relationship. So, right?
It was helpful, 30 days being real sober. You know, allowed me to get my head cleared. Everything.
So, and then what is because there's the burglary in the police report, they're saying they got a call for a burglary. Is that case coming up or there's nothing to do with that?
Not that we're aware.
It's got the animal trespasser, but
So that case is not being filed? Okay,
Judge, we'd ask him to attack evaluation.
okay. All right, Mr. Ayala, how long have you been using meth?
On and off, probably like 2 years. In the last couple months, I've really been using it, been smoking marijuana.
Right, well, I mean, part of the reason you haven't been using because you're at the jail.
Well, no, in the last couple months, like 6 months.
So how often would you use?
It's not something like that I look for, really.
But I want you to listen to my question
Oh,
and let me explain something to you. I'm inclined to follow the agreement. Your attorney is asking that I allow you to do the tap out of custody. So I need you to be honest with me, because when people are not honest with me and they have drug issues, that tells me where they are on the spectrum with regards to their sobriety.
I mean, I'd say like if it's around, like, you know, I'd use it,
But how often
really
is that? Let's say it's sitting on this bench.
Yeah.
Are you using it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
It's like,
so who were you around? Were these friends?
yeah, like friends, really just friends, a lot of people I hang around.
All right. Where's your family?
I don't have any family here. I'm originally from Brownsville, Texas, but I moved over here from Houston. All my family's in Houston. I don't have any family out there.
So you don't have any family in Brownsville either?
Yeah, my mother's side of the family, but all my father's side of the family is in Houston. But here in San Antonio, I don't have any.
So where's your mom?
She's in Nebraska.
Okay.
Yeah,
And where's your dad?
Mexico.
And do you have any siblings, brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I really don't keep in contact with them except one, my sister in Anahuac, Texas.
Oh, wow. So why don't you keep in touch with your siblings?
I just, I didn't really have a phone. I just don't really, I didn't grow up with them, so.
All right, so you want to spell Adawac for Brenna?
ANAHUAC.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome. I see the
It
type.
didn't come out that way.
Yeah, I'm like, are there any more difficult places that you have family members living that we need you to spell for us? So do you have any children?
Yeah, I have 3,
Girls, boys,
2 boys and 1 girl.
ages?
My daughter is gonna be 5. My son's just turned 3, and then my other son's gonna be 11.
All right.
I was with him since he was like 2 in 2014.
So are you living with the mother or,
We got separated, moving here to San Antonio.
and so where is she?
I think she's still in San Antonio. if I'm not mistaken.
And
I haven't really, before I got arrested, I just got in contact with him. Because she was going through, some stuff, so.
If I could just clarify real quick. So the stepson is 11.
Mhm.
That's, I think that she's maybe asking about that one, but there's also the 2 that are biologically yours.
Yeah.
When you talk about the important.
yes,
I mean, I hate to say that that the judge once or twice in this position, she's gonna ask you about the ones you're supposed to be supporting young as well, so make sure you differentiate. Sorry.
no problem. So when's the last time you had any contact with either of the children?
At the moment she wasn't letting me speak to them. I was just, sending her what I can, clothes, food.
So the 3 children, are they by the same mother?
Yes.
All right. So is Child Protective Services involved at all?
They were a couple years ago
And why were they involved?
because her aunt and her mother said that we were unfit parents
And why did they think you were unfit parents?
because we were smoking marijuana at the time.
And
They had it's really like ugly little situation that had gone on because the way her family was.
I mean, that is a problem if you're doing drugs and you're around the children.
Like about a year, really, about a year, but like 4 months, give or take 4 months of custody court. But then the judge, we asked them for help. So whenever like we were trying to get our kids back, they didn't want to give them to us. And they, try to take our kids away from us.
Let's not call them kids. Kids are baby goats. So let's call them children, okay?
Well, they try to take our children away from us when we ask them for help. To try to like get our things organized since moving from Houston to here. And that caused a big issue with her and I. That's how we ended up separating.
Well, but as you know, when you're making moves in your life and you have children, you have to have plans. So parents, it's nice if you have financial support for people. It's nice if people agree to babysit, but whenever you're making plans to maybe better yourself, at the top of your list, you need to consider your children, because guess what? They just going along with their parents. And if the parents are using drugs, guess what? They just have to go along with their parents.
That's what I've been thinking a lot about lately.
So what are their birthdays?
My daughter's January 5th, 2017. My son's August 26th, 2019, and my stepson, he's December 19th, 2012.
Okay. All right. Do you have any employment prospects?
I was planning on going back to doing landscaping with the company that I was whenever I first came here to San Antonio. But so then I'm gonna go to day labor.
All right, and are you planning on staying in San Antonio, or do you think you maybe need to move wherever you have your support system?
And I feel like I have to be like,
I can't hear you.
I feel like I have to be pretty solid for myself, so I gonna try to, I'm gonna stay here.
Okay, where you, if you're released, do you have a place to live?
Yeah, before I got arrested, one of my friends and I were planning on getting an apartment together, so I'm gonna look into that whenever I get out. I just don't have any other numbers. My phone is dead. I only got out one number. It was one of my cousins from Houston.
So where are you going, how are you going to be able to get in touch with this person, this friend that you may be living with?
At the apartment wherever, like in that like little area, but I do have a place where I could be for the moment.
All right, anything else? All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. 120 hours community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. Are you, is your first language English or Spanish?
England.
Okay, I asked because that will determine which parenting class I send you to. All right, we're going to do parenting classes. And that can be with Triple T. Once you complete the parenting classes, the remaining of your hours, community service hours, we waive. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. We can do a TAP evaluation while out of custody. If you miss that TAP appointment, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get a report about it. And a warrant is probably going to be issued for your arrest because it's going to be a violation of your probation. And we may end up doing the TAP evaluation at the Bexar County Jail, or you may end up going to the state jail facility for 2 years. You understand? So it's very important that you keep your appointments. Probation, if TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs. And we'll do field visits for 2 months. At once per month. If for any reason there are issues, then you will continue with the field visits probation. If not, then there'll be field visits as probation deems necessary. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ayala, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful in this probation? Sure. Yes.
1 second. There's the issue that I would have in contact with probation. It's out. I know his phone hasn't been on. He, to be honest with the court, he could have bonded out before today, but he doesn't have the money or the support for that. So we can give him a couple days to get his phone turned on so he can return phone calls.
Oh, they'll do it in person. Yeah, it's either in person or by Zoom. So just let probation know what your situation is. And honestly, if they are okay with you doing it by Zoom after you do your first orientation, then they can let you know. And if you can't do it by Zoom, all you have to do is tell them. Probation in this court, in order to be successful, communication is key. Okay,
That was my concern. He's good. Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. You're going to have to do better for your children. All right, Jude. Oh, thank you.
Is it your birthday?
Yeah. And you're wearing purple too.
Well, you know, it is my favorite color. Judge.
It's my favorite color as well. Oh, and Daniel's wearing purple. Oh, wow.
I wonder
Oh
how
my
they all know.
gosh. It's like people knew to wear purple too. I'm the only one who's not wearing purple.
Yeah,
You do. That is so awesome. You guys have made my day.
I can wear purple every day.
Yeah.
Hey,
I tried to request it and it's purple today too, but
except for Brittany.
What?
Not my name. Oh, well. Walk around with your Gucci belt yesterday, please. Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, yes, on Arredondo. Who's here on Arredondo?
here in the.
Okay. All right, John Arredondo, if you can come forward. All right, Mr. Arredondo, how are you doing today?
Okay,
Just okay. I mean, anytime, to me, if you're currently alive, everybody should be doing great, right? Because each day you're alive, to me, that's a day you can improve and probably be better. All right. So I'm looking at this and it says that felony drug court, they're at capacity. They don't have enough funds. They can't take on more people. So people need to write whomever they need to write to say, hey, give more money to felony drug court so they can have more people and they can take more people. So what the recommendation then for you is either to go to SATIF or SafeP. And then once you get out of there, felony drug court should have a placement for you. So I'm hoping that you are successful at this. So what is the wait time for SATIF? We're gonna see what is the quickest wait time for you, okay?
Oh.
And is there any gang affiliation we need to know about?
She got them all.
All right, I asked you that because based upon that, that may limit where we can see you.
Your Honor, for status, it will be approximately 8 weeks.
Mhm.
And then for safety, it will be about the same.
All right, and what about ISF substantive track?
It would be 3 weeks.
All right, so let's do ISF substantive. And so that's where you'll go. You go to ISF substantive. And in this court, probation always keeps track of the wait times and whether or not you've been transferred. So we will not lose you in the system, okay? All right. All right, thank you. So we're going to send you to ISF substantive. You're welcome. Oh, thank you. All right, who's here on Corey Sepulveda?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. And where's your client?
Mr. Fuller,
All right, Mr. Sepulveda, if you'll come forward. All right, what is happening with this case?
Judge, I confer the prosecutor's state this morning, provided an affidavit from the complaining witness. I think they'd like some time to try and reach out to the complaining witness.
Yeah, just to kind of clarify our previous conversation on the affidavit.
All right, thank you. How much time are you requesting, state?
Judge, a couple weeks.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Corey Sepulveda, can we recall this in 3 weeks? I'm all right, state requested 2 weeks. I gave them 3 weeks, so you guys should have it. All right, December 1st. All right, Ms. Ferguson, we'll give you a reset form. You're welcome.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for dressing appropriately for court. All right, who's here on Paul Green?
I am, Judge.
Okay, first of all, I see that you put in here that he's remanded without bond. Why was he remanded without bond?
Judge, Mr. Villarreal just pulled some police reports. It looks like he was arrested for violating the protective order on October 15th. If I may.
Yeah, you're looking at the expression on my face. You're like, okay, no problem.
He was rearrested on October. With Fayette County Jail, he was arrested on October 17th.
Okay.
Michael just pulled the police report on that incident, October 15th. It doesn't appear that, I think we could agree, Michael, that it's a good, strong case for the state. She went over to his house. So then, the officers showed up because she was there. They arrested him. So he's been in custody since then. That's the incident that I knew about when I conferred with Mr. Green. When Michael ran his to see what other cases he got pending, he pulled another report and it's at large.
Yeah, it's from October 17th, where the allegations are he's calling her from jail.
We don't know if it's him, but she has a missed call from the jail.
Well,
Okay,
they-
just
they
one
pulled up
second.
the report where it said, and it comes back to the
Oh,
call.
okay.
Gotta check on mom.
So Michael clarified, yes, the October 17th now violation is apparently he was contacting her from the jail. She didn't answer. The jail traced it that he was in fact calling her from the jail. And she didn't have any contact with him.
Okay,
Back up a little bit, I do have an affidavit of non-prosecution where she wanted to retract the allegations from the current assault family choking language.
okay.
So
And Judge, I didn't, this is not the court's fault. This is not Miss Garza's fault. I didn't know that this was set today. And so I didn't,
All
we
right,
didn't
so
reach out
let's,
to the victim.
all right, so let's do this because on these type of cases, if I were to do something, I would want the complainant to know this is what's happening. And because your client hasn't been brought over, remember, when can we bring him over? And state, how long do you need to
I mean,
talk
even
to
if,
people and,
even if you recall this for tomorrow, I just want to have Marina make some, at least some attempts to have contact with Victor, because we haven't at this point.
Okay.
And so. I don't know if you're available tomorrow, but want not just a 15-minute, I'd like to have some diligence, at least in it, give her some time to call back if she doesn't answer the phone. So I'm gonna have her start calling today, but at least I want some time if she doesn't answer her phone, I'm gonna give her to at least respond. That's where I'm at. It's not a matter of.
All right, so Norma, are we able to bring this back either Thursday or Friday? Which is good for you.
Right.
All right, so we'll come back on Friday.
Okay.
All right. You're welcome.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
You're not competent, so you're not.
Please break. I probably forgot what I told you, please. So
All right.
let's just start over.
So I have a client that's on probation out of this court. She had an MTR about 2 weeks ago. For about 3 weeks ago, then continued her. She had I think she came back about 2 weeks ago for burglary habitation, which is breaking into her ex's mom's house. It's like an over case as well as it's a secret case. She. after the-
In the case she got arrested. for?
Yes.
that she's on probation for, it's an over case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
so not like a
I
week
have
probation,
to
she's been
go
on it for a while.
Okay.
She's obviously not with that person
Facilities
anymore.
and
She's with.
Friday,
another
but it's
person,
just here at the
another
federal
client.
courthouse.
Oh,
I don't get
child
those
care.
hours.
We
when
got
I'm doing
probation on
phone
those
calls
calls
to
for it.
Oh,
Doing very
yes.
well.
Yes.
Just, you know,
So
But
either
here's
you
what
can
happened.
go check in.
They had a child
I'll be
together.
there
My,
for
with my
2
client
hours.
first, would have been the client.
All right, if you want to,
Joseph,
Zoom in,
which
we can
is
zoom in.
her significant
Okay.
other, they're not married.
So-
They have basically a 6-month-old child together, boy. First
Yeah.
child she's had. But he's really helped a lot to get her back.
no, see if they can both do Zoom, because that'll be easier for them to be on Zoom. Do you wanna do Zoom?
Whatever you guys want. I'm just saying if I could just go check in 2 hours.
No, I
and
mean,
then
I
come
didn't
over
want
here.
you rushing back and forth. So if you want to
when
do
they
it by
had,
Zoom, you can do it by Zoom. But if you do it by Zoom, we'll have your client by Zoom
had,
instead of in person.
Follow.
Because it'll be easy for them to go to the breakout room to discuss things.
The children's advocate, that's a caseworker came over and spoke on her
Yes.
behalf for that. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is there's a no contact order as condition of her case that she's on probation.
Is she
for.
gonna be here?
But I think Judge Glenn.
She's,
when she's in
they
drug court,
just want to
visited.
contact her.
I'm
Michael,
Trying to get the no.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna contact her or are you gonna bring the victim in?
I was just planning on contacting her so
Okay,
that we have a position. I mean,
okay.
and I'll review the cases.
Because I'm trying to see if I can just zoom in because I have to be at a seminar and I cannot miss that seminar.
I don't get.
Okay, then yeah, I'll just zoom in.
There's no order attached to that.
No, I don't want him in jail any young, because he's older
I
and
wanna
he
try
has
and get
health
the no
issues.
contact order lifted, so to get a
Okay.
child together. and then-
All right.
and the
Okay,
children's
sure.
court, finish court, they have in contact and go to a child there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like
So-
she has a CPA space and she has a.
Correct.
And
And so we're just trying to get the order from here. Judge Glenn's the one that ordered it when she's in drug court. She's not in drug court anymore, but we're just trying to get the no contact order lifted.
Is it so much Judge Glenn would do?
Well, that's, I think what I told you before, you said no Judge Boyd can do it. I'm just trying to find out if I just going to file a motion or if we can approach on how would the judge want to handle it?
I
How would
haven't,
you want me to handle it?
honestly, I haven't had anything where we've amended from drug court where it wasn't like an MTR, right? Or like, we generally let it drug court together all of it until it comes back to us, right? I don't know. Judge Boyd can, she could do it, but I don't know if she's going to defer to the court based on the fact that that case has been with them. He's the one who entered the no contact. He's aware that like his reasoning for entering the no contact.
Well, I expect it probably would. Like, get it before.
Aye.
I suspect that's the
yeah.
issue. So,
Mhm.
in his case, it's not drug related, but it is drug related possession of gun information.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
yeah.
pretty much regulated,
Yeah.
but
Hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like usually get meth and fake IDs together.
Do any of you have a highlighter?
I don't care if you approach Judge Boyd about, that's something that you'd be willing to hear, or if it needs to be something like this. I think that's kind of the
Okay.
first inquiry, and then after that, if she wants to, then
Because
I'll look at it.
I know the, just child advocate from Burley, Judge Burley's court wants to come over and to for the prize, so they're more than happy to come over and talk to one.
The CASA or the appline.
I'm not sure, because I don't do any work in Kimberly's court, but
Okay.
whoever the, I guess, the advocates, the attorneys, whoever, the attorney, whoever it is, are willing to come over.
Okay.
The caseworker, whoever it is.
Okay. I mean, 'cause if there's an item, I don't want to speak to appline.
I don't think they're attorneys, so I don't think it's that line,
Okay, so probably a CASA.
probably.
Yes.
It's an off thought, about it, there's more want to pick your brain on something. See how you want
Okay.
to do this.
All right. My brain loves to be picked,
So I have a client that's on.
as long as it's not an ice pick. Okay.
I have a client that's on probation at the court.
Mhm.
She had an NPR, she's on probation for burglary to have. The victim is far removed from the relationship now, but this is a chill case. Short story, she came into your court for, I guess, a status hearing after her MTR. She's being also monitored at Judge Burley's court. Was there, she has a 6-month-old child, that the child has temporarily been removed from her. Everything's going fine over there. So the advocate, I guess, or the child's advocate came over and just spoke on her behalf to you. What I'm mostly getting at, there's a no contact order that Judge Glenn, when she's a drug court at your, court's center drug court, Judge Glenn ordered a no contact order of the baby's dad.
Mhm.
In Kimberly Burley's court, they are trying to reconcile everything together. So we're trying to get the no contact order lifted. I just don't know if I need to approach Judge Glenn on that, or if that's something I'll approach you.
Oh, you need to approach Judge Glenn, because once they're in felony drug court, they're in charge of the condition.
She's not in it anymore. Drug court, felony drug court.
So why is she no longer in felony drug court?
She got removed.
Why?
Probably. I'm not sure. That was a couple of years ago.
All right. So yes, we need to have a,
It's an old no contact order that's been on there for a while.
all right. So we need to have a hearing. Yes.
And that's something that we could do in front of you instead of Judge Glenn. That's-
I mean, if she's no longer in Judge Glenn's court, and if she's technically here, then yeah, it'll be done in front of me.
Okay, all right, that's what. thank
All
you.
right, sure, no problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what it is.
Okay. I just follow a motion and then
I'll get a file this week on Tish normal.
I'll if you could just email me or text me with basic case information so that I can talk to whoever I need to.
I'll get you the person's name over there in the release court too, as far as who's handling it over there.
Yeah.
let you know.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Michael.
All right, Norma. On this case, can you have Mr. Leal come in? Because he doesn't even have an amount on this.
It doesn't burn.
Things are done. A chance to confer with the state?
I had Jordan.
All right, who did you confer with?
I'm bad with names.
Okay. All right, so,
Like Mr. Bolden up there?
yes. I don't, and I could be wrong, but I don't think this is a complete. I'm trying to figure, there it is. Okay, I found the reason. So of course, I wanted this PR bond report to decide on the bond because based upon, oh, I'm sorry, could you all speak softly in the box? Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, could you move them to the end perhaps? All right, so before we go on the record, I'm looking at this and the reason for me to get this was to consider a bond reduction and not a PR bond, because based upon everything that I'm seeing, a PR bond is out of the question. All right. And my understanding, his case hasn't been indicted, correct?
That's correct.
All right. State, do you all even have the case, or do you know, anticipate when an indictment will happen, if it will happen?
Judge, I'm not sure when the indictment will happen. I've reviewed the case, so we have the facts of the case, but I'm not sure when it will be indicted.
Okay. And Mr. Hernandez, I understand that the reason for a bond is to ensure a person's appearance, but it's also for safety. And what I'm looking at in the PR bond, I'm not inclined to give him a bond reduction because there is some violent history here. If it were just this, then maybe. But he has too much, Mr. Bolden, there's too much violent history here for me to, one, give you a PR bond, and two, to reduce your bond. What I can do is I can tell the state that they need to look into this case, and I can recall this case, and I can recall this case in 30 days. State, will you at that time know what you're going to do with the case that he's here for?
Yes, Judge, we can have it just.
All right, so I mean, that's the best I can do, Mr. Bolden, but I mean, you know your history, right? And I understand when people say, because I used to be a defense attorney and a prosecutor, I understand when people say that's my past, just look at the future, and look at the present. But when bonds are being set, your past does have a play in, or an element for me to consider when I'm setting a bond. You understand? Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have this reset for 30 days. And the state is telling me they'll know what they're going to do with the other case. Maybe it'll be indictment, maybe it won't be indicted. I don't know. But the state will have more information for you and your attorney within 30 days, okay? All right. So Ms. Ferguson, can we get a reset date for Mr. Bolden for 30 days? Is that enough time? So Mr. Bolden, we're going to come back on December 5th, okay?
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Counselor. Who's here on Placido Jacques?
That's me, Your Honor.
All right, what is happening with Placido Jacques?
Yeah, has, I believe, 7 cases pending.
It still lists Joe Stenberg as the attorney on this. Okay,
Yes, we could have a notice in. Your Honor.
okay, all right, thank you. It's just that it's on the docket sheet that way. All right, so where's Placido?
He's in the box right now.
Come up, please. So where are we on discovery?
You know, I know we have all the paper discovery, and I believe we have at least access to all the videos, and we're currently in the process of downloading each of those, but there's just a lot of them because of the number of cases.
Okay, and when were you retained?
We were retained last week,
Hmm.
and I believe we filed the notice of appearance late last week.
Okay.
And so we're just asking for a reset in order to catch up on the case.
Okay, how much discovery is it?
I mean, it's not as many, or it's not as much as the number of cases would imply. There's actually more videos on the abatings than there are on, you know, say the ag robbery or something like that, but
I mean, I would do it on.
it's a fair bit of discovery to go through. Each of the individual cases is a separate incident, so there's not a lot of overlap between them.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can, this is gonna be the last day that I give you for discovery. Ms. Ferguson, can you reset this in 45 days? Is that enough time?
I think that's fine.
Okay. All right, December 15th. And that will be for, to make sure that everybody has discovery and state on Placido Jacques on December 15th. If you can make sure that you have discovery acknowledgements available for defense.
Okay, Judge.
All right,
Thanks, Judge.
you're welcome.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes. No, just discovery. Oh, okay.
Michael.
No. Yeah. Like how. Michelle leaves the capital. But then
Yeah.
goes to the one here, like,
And
yeah.
Who's here on Rudy Gonzalez?
I'm Judge.
So you're asking that this be recalled for the 7th?
Yes, it's Monday.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, are we able to recall it on the 7th? All right, we'll see you on November 7th.
Awesome. Thank you, Judge.
Happy Watchdog Day at the school.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's always fun. They're like, now go patrol the grounds for 15 minutes. So I just like literally walk around to the
Oh, wow.
exterior of the campus.
But do you have lunch with your child or anything?
Yeah. So
And
I get-
breakfast?
I go to all three of my kids' classes
Yeah.
and they have us go to like another class. Just walk out.
Okay, all right,
pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Judge.
All right, have a good one. All right, anyone else ready? And we're still waiting for the person to come back on Louis Patrick Contreras.
I'm
Oh,
here, Judge.
yes, hi. So you were released?
I was.
Oh,
I guess there's no jurors.
Hmm.
For this case, not, I mean, not for this case, but for impact court.
they should have, we could have given them jurors. We asked if anybody needed jurors. All right, so what is happening with your case?
I'm conferring with Marcus, Your Honor. He went to check his computer and then he will be back.
Okay, all right, awesome. All right, they're not done with this one yet. All right, so Norma, we need Joanne Eckel. And Robert Mauer.
Yes. Yeah, I think they were supposed to be closing today. Though. I think they're closing today.
Oh. And did we complete, I think we completed Corey Sepulveda. So we need Anita Garza. And I think Jennifer Zorka. Did we do Reno Corrales the other day? Okay. All right, so we just have those. Brenda, I'm not gonna think it. I'm not gonna say anything. I do want to jinx us, so I'm not gonna say anything. We are. I'm not even gonna deliberate in my head. No. No, these are the people we're waiting on.
Yeah, case number 6. Okay. 2196.
All right, so I'm gonna step outside briefly.
I mean, I would.
What says other, what is the schedule for on November 3rd? This is Alejandro Black. It's 2022. 2567.
And I'll walk that down. And kind of put it.
Is that next thing?
She said there today. Tried so hard to be organized lately and I've just got so much. I think there was before today. And I just-
Yeah, thank you.
I'll be back.
All right, thanks. All right, so he's asking it to be moved because he has to, he may be in trial in another court that day. So can we recall it for next week? Is it possible, or should we do it a different day? All right, that's the 7th. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anything else from me?
No, that's all.
Thank you.
They're gonna recall for the 7th.
Okay, yeah.
No, probably not.
If it goes that day, would it be picking a tree that afternoon, the next day?
No, it will be on Tuesday.
Okay, you get recalled the next day if it starts.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Judge, do you mind signing this? This was supposed to be TIC about a month ago.
All right, no problem. You're welcome.
Well, I'm hitting there now. So walk down there together. I'll like it.
You're doing so good, the case should be indicted on it. That's like Donald Trump. December 16th. Donald Trump, they've been waiting for indictment for 2 years.
None of these are told. There's sometimes a while that's a little, the September speaking.
But you can't work after 2 kids.
I don't think Jack would agree to it.
We agree.
I don't agree with them.
This will work. I don't know what you got.
Okay. All right, could I have the file?
And they're all right. I don't know what the-
So is tomorrow, a good day to recall it? And David Keonis, he in the box or no? Is there a David Keonis in the box? All right, Deputy Laura, can you let Mr. Keonis know we're gonna recall him for tomorrow? His attorney is out of county.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
I remember that too. What?
Sound like
Jerry Gallows. Remember that? Wasn't Vinny.
a long, I've seen the movie, a real long.
All right, who's? Oh, we just did that one. Oh, Mr. Cox,
Yes, ma'am.
how are you doing today?
All right, Judge. I see her.
I appreciate it. And get this, so everybody decided to come in shades of purple. Isn't that nice? I'm the only one who did not.
I told Cornelius. He
Yeah.
said he's not allowed to wear.
What happens?
Yeah.
Hard to do. It's hard to do when you wear this. Yellow and blue, you know, hard to do and wear the yellow and blue. Great. many more.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm downtown. I'm not a billionaire yet.
Oh,
I know you made the offer. I just wanted to clear this. What's the share on here? It's gonna be 105 and 04.
105 before.
24. Yeah, because he's now have to do this whole thing. But he does have an MTR hearing. It looks at least it's calendared for the 9th.
Yeah, we'll handle it.
I just wanted to make sure so that I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, most likely what we'll do before. We'll withdraw, we're not gonna approve that. State, yeah, we're not gonna approve that. 30 read is first degree. I guess part of it's golf.
But I mean, if it's important, because, you know, it's an order.
Yeah.
I'm 100%.
Yeah, no, we'll handle it.
Just wanted to make sure.
Mhm. Okay, all right, no problem. Thank you. Yes. All right, what is happening with Contreras?
Good morning, Judge. I conferred with the state and my clients, and my client has informed me that he does not want to offer, he wants to go to trial.
All right, Mr. Contreras, come down. All right, so have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
And when was the offer made?
About 5 minutes ago, Judge.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall Mr. Contreras and 1 month? All right, that will be your plea deadline date, Mr. Contreras. And after that, if you decide not to accept the offer, then we will set this for a jury trial.
Honestly, you can go ahead and just set the reach, but I'm not gonna.
No, I understand that, but I don't have people make decisions on plea bargain agreements the day an offer is tendered, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And so Norma, that'll come back on December 8th. Thanks.
I agree that she shouldn't be on probation.
Thank you. Oh, Mr., you wanted to be heard on Mr. Contreras again?
Yes, Your Honor, just a very quick issue on the date. Is it possible to recall him to the 9th?
Sure, Ms. Bergson, it's okay to recall him on December 9th? All right. We'll see you on December 9th.
Thank you, Judge. Happy birthday.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. All right, can I see the file on Maria Chavez? Norma, on Chavez, let's just recall this for tomorrow. Will Robert Mauer be done by then or no? Well, no, she's not. All right. Well, we're gonna issue a BF. She's not here. And let Robert know. Hi,
Happy
Charles.
birthday, Judge.
Oh, thank you so much.
How did you know?
I knew already. I need to see how I need to get that into the record. This piece of evidence on RC cards.
No, Midnight Rodeo burned down.
I think what I'll have to do is just mark it, since it's agreed to, we'll just mark it with the defense exhibit and I'm going to make it part of the record. Good. Want to get Daryl down there?
Well, I think we're doing, arguments.
I want this in there before that.
Before
I don't want to put it in the record.
Okay.
Let me get Daryl on the horns.
And then that will be.
What?
He wants to enter those.
May I approach Judge?
Yes.
Mr. Harris, or the state and myself, we have agreed to this stipulated evidence in RC's case. So I need to get it made part of the trial of the court's record.
All right. We can bring him down, open the records, mark it as an exhibit, and then you can just offer it.
I'll get Daryl down. I'll leave it
And
with
then
you.
do you need me to produce that for the transcript?
No.
Like, oh, let me go get my file on that.
Let's get Daryl down.
Yeah.
Hey, can you run down the line of substance on the record? And just see on the record real quick. Thank you.
All right, now who? All right, could I see the court's file? Oh, okay, withdrawing the request for the bond. Okay. Okay.
Let me see what number going on.
All right, Brenda, you ready? Or you need time to?
Yeah. The RC one?
Oh, no, this is Callahan.
Oh.
All right, court is calling 2020 CR 0810, State Montoya Callahan. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state,
Catherine Pollard for the state.
for the defense?
Mundo Aleman for Ms. Callahan.
And are you Montoya Callahan?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to, where do you want me to?
Oh, thank you. Yes, just come forward.
You're
No,
the-
you're in the center. All right, right there. Ms. Callahan, I'm showing you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Montoya Callahan who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 0810 for the offense of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault on May 28, 2021 for a term of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Judge, it's violation of condition number 5 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Montoya Callahan did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of September and October 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
And Judge, we would waive the other violations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court can find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, Your
Violation of condition number 5 is true. Is there an agreement?
There's not an agreement.
State, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're requesting amending and adding safe P followed by aftercare.
All right, Vince, what are you? They're asking for inpatient treatment as safe P, followed by aftercare. What are you requesting, defense?
I did not handle the original case. So I don't know why it happened. I did get the discovery, in which apparently the state argued that they found it hard to find the Callahan, before they finally arrested her, because they kept giving her an opportunity to show up. And she would never show up to discuss the case. So I don't know what happened. This Callahan sent a letter with what I disclosed it to the probation officer and the state explaining what why she did. She had the problems. And she also gave it to the court. And what she is asking for is that she be given the TAP evaluation, which apparently was never given to her. It's been in the court, and she then be released on probation. And that's what she's asking for.
All right, so why are you not reporting?
I went through a lot of hardships around that I explained in the letter around the time that I stopped reporting. And I don't have any excuses for it, but that's what was going on mentally. I just had a breakdown. And I kind of gave up on myself, on life. I was not doing drugs. I just kind of went into a depression state. And I sought help through the church, just not professional help. And I kind of started to get myself back together, started working with them, got myself a place to stay, started trying to start my businesses back up, and just ended up getting caught on the warrant for this. With all intentions of eventually turning myself in. Never wanted to continue to run, just wanted to get myself to a place where I could turn myself in and get myself proper representation prior to doing so. And I ended up getting caught on the warrant first.
All right, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. So what are you planning on doing with your life?
Right now, I'm trying to start a business with Lucio. It's Lucio's Landscaping. I have given him all of the money needed to invest in the business with him. I just got arrested first. I'm trying to do that because of my felony. It's been hard for me to get a real good job for me.
All right, so here's the thing. In this court, communication is key when you're on probation, because I want people to successfully complete probation. If I didn't think you could successfully complete it, I would not place you on probation. I would send you to prison.
Yes, I understand.
You're looking at 20 years in prison, and I see that. I'm the one who gave you your instructions on what to do.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna have to do better. All right, this is what the court will do. The court will deny the motion. I'm gonna alter and amend conditions. And we're gonna do GPS for 60 days. And probation, she can get GPS once she's released from the jail. Because I know there has been some issue with the jail putting it on. Do you know if those issues still exist? All right, well, let's do this. If there are still issues with the jail putting on the GPS, then she can put it on after she gets out. All right, and that'll need to be done within 48 hours of release.
Okay.
And there is going to be reporting to probation every 2 weeks. For 60 days. And if everything goes well with that, then she can go back to regular reporting. I'm going to need an updated TAP evaluation. And if the TAP evaluation suggests inpatient treatment, we'll start off with intensive outpatient treatment and field visits 2 times per month for 60 days. And probation is, if everything goes well with the field visits, then you can go back to field visits as probation feels needed. And where are you going to be living?
4303 Greco Street.
All right, so you know you're still, all of the conditions remain, so you're still not to have any contact with the complainant, you understand?
Never that, yes.
All right, is there anything that I've given you that you don't understand?
No, ma'am. Thank you very
If
much.
If you fail to report, there are going to be issues. So from here on out, everything that you do, every decision you make, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could result in me being sent to prison potentially for 20 years? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. Hi. Yes. Yes, hi. How sweet. Oh my gosh.
Time to see.
I thought that was you from behind. Happy birthday. We couldn't live without you.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so awesome. I really appreciate it. And you're wearing purple.
Yes, and I even have my.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I get a picture?
Yeah.
I know this is court, but I want a picture with her. Yay.
I'll send it to our group.
Okay.
Yes.
Court is calling 2016 CR 4781, State of Texas versus RC Curtis. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Nathan Moore and Daryl Harris for the state.
for the defense?
Charles Bunk for Mr. Curtis.
All right, Mr. Curtis is not present. Is there any objection to proceeding with this introduction of evidence without Mr. Curtis's presence?
No, Judge, this is stipulated evidence. We don't object to his not being present.
State?
No objection.
All right, so have both parties had a chance to review the stipulated evidence? Mr. Murray is looking.
So the state has 2 heads sometimes, and she wants both heads to see the exhibit.
Do you all need to step back and discuss?
Do you have there was a vital document. You guys got that, right?
Yes,
Are we attaching that to this or we just leave?
I wasn't, but you want me to?
I'm okay with this, Judge. I just would like to make a brief proffer to sort of
Yes.
provide a little context with this. So when this case was initially set for the writ hearing, we came here and I think we reset it for a few days.
Yes.
At that point, I noticed the defense had an investigator. We were all out in the hall. And I figured they were going to look into some of the witnesses. So I figured we'd get ahead on that. And what happened was we had our investigator look into the witnesses and we discovered that Roberto Cisneros, we found a funeral webpage that suggested he had a funeral, I think, back in 2018. And since then, we have actually gotten the vital statistic showing that he was, I believe, murdered in Indianapolis. And the reason I wanted to put the proffer on is we did not get this information until recently. This is not information we had at the time of the trial. So I'm not objecting to the authenticity of the vital statistic if he wants to move it into evidence. And I think at this point, we're certain that Roberto Cisneros is deceased, but that is not information we possessed at the time of trial. That is information we only got in the last few weeks. So I think
It says
it's
that in
relevant.
here that on September the 29th, they gave it to me and I agree that I'm not arguing. My argument is not that they knew he had died before. That my argument is that he's no longer available.
Okay.
This just stipulates that he's no longer available because he's passed.
All right. So, and what exhibit number is that, defense?
I can't read. I'm sorry.
It's
10.
All right. Any objection to defense 10 being placed into the record?
None.
All right.
All right.
Then so stipulated and it is accepted into the record as defense exhibit number 10.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you.
May I be
Close
excused?
the-
Happy
yes.
birthday.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Carol, Nick, thank you. I mean, Nathan, excuse me.
You're welcome.
I have a friend named Nick Morey, so I keep calling him Nathan and you Nick.
Here at the customary shrimp roll or lobster roll sometime between now.
Yes, I appreciate that.
That's the time.
All right. Thank you. Yes, we finished. Yesterday.
Oh, that's what happened.
Oh, guilty. Okay, which one is that? Okay, so that's tomorrow? Okay, no problem. Okay. All right, Reno Corrales. Good morning.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. So what is happening with Reno Corrales?
We're ready, Judge.
All right, so today is the plea deadline date. And are you rejecting the state's offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to give you your jury trial date. As you may be aware or not aware, we just finished with the jury trial. So our jurors, we don't have any available for this week. Okay. So, Ms. Ferguson, what date are we calling back Mr. Corrales for jury trial? And how long does the state anticipate this trial lasting?
Because I don't know, Ryan and Marcus are handling it, so.
Okay. Defense, I won't hold you to it, but how long do you anticipate this jury trial lasting?
It's not my case either, but I don't imagine more than 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
But again, Judge, I don't know what that
Yes,
is.
no, I understand. All right, it'll have to be a date in January. We have other trials that are before yours. Yes. And then, Mr. Corrales, you'll be brought over dressed for trial in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. If you want to be in different attire, you need to let your attorney know, and you'll need to sign a clothing exchange. If you don't sign for that clothing exchange, they're not going to allow your attorney to exchange clothing. And if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know, and we'll see if we can expedite that. All right, so we're going to come back on January 17th, 2023.
Thank you. Your Honor.
Thank you. Hey, Lance, how's it going? Oh, thank you very much. Oh, no, I have a loaner in my office. I'll go get it. Let me bring that to you. Sure. So she has Benito Garcia and Mario Tovar.
Yes, sir. Do you want me to approach on that?
Sure, you can stand there. Okay, so what is happening with Benito Garcia?
So with Benito Garcia, I tendered to the district attorney a letter from Teresa Cruz Davila. It's a 3-page letter, Padilla letter. And Marcus asked me for a little bit more time because he's gonna ask, I guess, his authorities to see what they can offer as far as what we can accept and what's gonna be okay with immigration.
Okay,
So we've got that hopefully squared away. He asked me for 2 weeks.
okay.
Asked me for 2 weeks. And then for Mr. Mario
Well,
Josue.
just 1 second. So on Garcia, Norma, if you can recall this in 3 weeks. All right, so I'll put down November 30th. If you all have everything worked out before then you can come back before then.
Marcus, you can email me and then I'll just email Norma. Or something.
All right, and then on Tovar,
Now, Mr. Tovar, what I was letting the sheriff's office know is that I've spoken to the family and they reinstated his bond. And so instead of him the bond out, they sent him again to ICE custody.
okay,
And I was contacted by Mr. Rudy Castillo, who is his immigration attorney. He's the one that's gonna be doing the immigration bond. And his court date hasn't come up yet for the immigration bond. So
and you say, which attorney is that, Rudy?
Rudy Castillo, Your Honor.
Okay,
Rudy Castillo, I received a call from him and then, letting me know, I have his phone number too.
okay,
Letting me know that he is representing him in the immigration, he's trying to get him an immigration bond.
all
And
right,
Marcus has given me an offer of PTD if he gets out. If and when he gets out. So hopefully if he makes that bond, that immigration bond, then he will be out and he can complete PTD and then this case will be resolved.
all right. So do you have any idea on the bond issue?
I don't, I tried calling Mr. Castillo's office yesterday. I can try sending him another email. I would ask for at least a month, because I don't know how.
Well,
long
let's do
ICE
this.
Is taking.
Let's put them both on the
Okay,
same
that's
date,
fine.
and so
And
you
then
can
I'll
give me
let
an
you know.
update.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'll be fine, Your Honor.
All right, and then why do I have, I think this one Garcia file, I shouldn't have it.
Did you update that one, Judge, for tomorrow?
Yes, let me put on here. Okay. And that is it.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, I was in the 399 on Zoom, so it took me a little bit to get here. I was physically,
Oh, that's no
was-
problem.
I was on Zoom at 10 and then I ran out of the house and so I got here. So I could, but
Okay, I appreciate it. All right, well, have a great rest of your day, everyone.
appreciate it.
Brendan, now I can think it because I think it's true. Well, I don't know. Somebody's pressuring me with paperwork.
This is dismissal
Oh, hey, okay.
for a case set tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Well, Brendan, we're done for